What's good, YouTube? Sensational Sincere here with another Division Vendor Reset video. Let's get right into it so we can see what we got good for this week. So for our first gear items, we're going to head over to the base operations. Base operations, the Dark Zone gear vendor has a Spec Ops mask with Tenacious on it. The gear score is 271. The armor is 910. It's rolled for electronics, and it has skill power and blind depth resistance. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to the weapons vendor at the base operations. We're still here, and they have an extended magazine with 117 magazine size, 3% crit hit chance, and 4% crit hit damage. This is a really good roll. Mines have 120. So yeah, I would pick this up if you need a good magazine size clip with crit hit chance and crit hit damage. For our next gear items, we're still at the base operations. Head over to the advanced weaponry vendor, and here we have a loud vent break with 17% crit hit damage, 6% headshot damage, and 4.50% optimal range. And then also we have a pro red dot sight with 17% crit hit damage, 2% accuracy, and 3% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to Camp Hudson. And here the gear vendor has a tactical vest with Reckless on it. The gear score is 273. The armor is 1973. It's rolled for electronics 1155. And it has health, skill haste, and increased kill XP. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to Camp Clinton. And here the special equipment vendor has an operator vest with Reckless on it. It has a gear score of 267. The armor is 1827. It's rolled for stamina 1153, and it has exotic damage resilience and all resistance and ammo capacity. Also here we have a prototype performance mod with 7% seeker mine explosion radius, and then also we got a 552 hollow sight with 7% crit hit chance, 5.50% headshot damage, and 3% stability. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to this special equipment vendor, and here they have a prototype stamina mod with 257 stamina and 3% skill haste. And then also we have a heavy magazine spring with 12% magazine size, 4% crit hit damage, and the 10.60% rate of fire. I'm just mentioning this because I have ran high rate of fire magazines for Pred builds. I don't run Pred, but if I wasn't run Pred and I want to put bleed on somebody real quick, I would definitely use this rate of fire magazine, something like this. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to the ward, and here the gear vendor has a prototype performance mod with 4% sticky bomb damage. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to Madison's stand, and here the gear vendor has a prototype electronics mod with 264 electronics and 3% ability resource gain. I've heard of people running these type of mods for builds to get their signature back real quick. So if you are into that, here's a good mod for you. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to the South Paw. In here, the gear vendor has a Spec Ops pack with Specialized on it. The gear score is 277. The armor is 1210. And it has skill power and disrupt resistance. For our next gear item, we're going to head over to Wolf's Den. In here, the weapons vendor has a lightweight M4 with a gear score of 282, 22% enemy armor damage. And the talents it has is commanding, deadly, and focused. I'm mentioning this because some people like to run focused. It's not a talent that I really like to run, but you have one here with deadly and focused. I think those are, you definitely want deadly, and then you can roll up that commanding for something else. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to the Grindhouse, and here the weapons vendor has a SMG for those that like running something different other than the house. But there's a Navy MP5 here in version of it. with a gear score of 271, 21% crit hit chance, and the talents on it is Unforgiven, Sustained, and Deadly. If I was to still run MP5s, I would definitely roll out that Sustain. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to West 46th Street checkpoint in the Dark Zone. And here the Dark Zone vendor has a prototype firearms mod with 262 firearms and 1% crit hit chance. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to West 34th Street checkpoint in the DZ. And here the Dark Zone vendor has an extended magazine with 111 50% magazine size, 3% crit hit chance, and 5.50% rate of fire. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to West 42nd Street checkpoint in the Dark Zone. And here the Dark Zone vendor has an operator vest with Vigorous on it. The gear score is 272, the armor is 1932. It's roll for firearms 1120, and it has health, exotic damage, resilience, and 26% increased kill XP. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to West 39th Street checkpoint in the Dark Zone. And in here, the Dark Zone vendor has an operator pack with Specialized on it. The gear score is 262. The armor is 1168. It's roll for firearms 1138. And it has crit damage and 14% disrupt resistance. And then also we got a prototype stamina mod with 263 stamina and 3,316 health. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to West 53rd Street checkpoint in the DZ. And here the Dark Zone vendor has an enhanced AUG A3P with a gear score of 264, 19.50% crit hit chance, and the talents it has is Competent, Vicious, and Accurate. For those people that like to run that AUG and something different other than the house, if they even still do that. And then we got a operator pack with the talent Specialized on it, and it has a gear score of 272. The armor is 1280. The stamina is 1187, and it's roll for skill power and bleed resistance. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to East 42nd Street checkpoint in the Dark Zone. And here the Dark Zone vendor has a rugged mini reflex sight with 7% crit hit chance, 2.50% stability, and 2% accuracy. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to East 58th Street checkpoint in the Dark Zone. And here the Dark Zone vendor has the operator pack with the talent Inventive on it. The gear score is 275. The armor is 1197. It's roll for firearms 1255. And it has skill power and disrupt resistance. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to East 64th Street checkpoint in the Dark Zone. And here the Dark Zone gear mod vendor has a prototype performance mod with 6% first aid self-heal. That's max roll. If you don't got them, better get them. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to DZ2 Safe Room in the Dark Zone. And here the Dark Zone vendor has a Spec Ops mask with the talent refreshed on it. The gear score is 270. The armor is 993. It's roll for electronics 1133. And it has skill power and disoriented resistance. And then we also got another Specialized tactical pack with Specialized on it talent. The gear score is 271. The armor is 1166. It has firearms 1239, and it's roll for skill power and burn resistance. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to East 31st Street checkpoint in the Dark Zone. Got a Spec Ops pack with the talent Inventive on it. The gear score is 269. The armor is 1183. It's roll for electronics 1269. It has crit damage and 50% ammo capacity. We also got a 3.50% ballistic shield damage mod, a prototype performance mod for those defense builds. And then also we got a 5.52 hollow sight with 7% crit hit chance, 4% crit hit damage, and 2.50% stability. For our next gear items, we're going to head over to DZ8 Safe Room. And here the Dark Zone gear vendor has a Spec Ops mask with refreshed on it. The gear score is 266. The armor is 888. It's roll for electronics 1230. And it has health on kill and damage to elites. We also have a tactical vest with the talent Reckless on it. The gear score is 270. The armor is 1754. It's roll for firearms 1266. And the talents it has, the attributes it has is skill haste, exotic damage resilience, and increased kill on XP. Also, we have an inventive backpack here with the gear score of 265. The armor is 1262. It's roll for electronics 1120. And it has crit hit damage and disrupt resistance. And that's it over here. Okay, everybody, so that's it for our vendor reset for the week. Thanks for tuning in to it. I appreciate it. If you haven't, hit that like button and subscribe if you hadn't. I appreciate that support. And I will see y'all with the next video. Holla at y'all. Take care. Peace.